The story has already talked about the section where Mr. Gao pretended to be a son-in-law who had been in Gao for 3 years, but it was not until half a year ago that Mr. Zhu borrowed this young lady Lan Gao. In the meantime, 2.5 years had passed. Moreover, when he said it, Zhu's mother was a fat man and later turned into a nerd with a long mouth. So when did Lao Zhu completely become his true self? If it was half a year ago, when he locked up Miss Gao, he would have created Zhu to a jour. Then, Mrs. Gao felt that she loved these invitations and wanted to drive him away. But if it was Zhu Ma who borrowed it and committed suicide not long after he became accused of the crime, Zhu Tuo would become a son. And Mrs. Gao should have known for a long time that this old man is a gift, so why did she want to drive this old man away until half a year ago? That must be another reason. Here, we should pay special attention to the old lattice words, saying that old people have to eat sweet products such as marriage to their wild beans within half a year. It's not a day or two that Lao Zhu can eat. From now on, he can eat it. Why is it a question now? The question is not whether Lao Zhu can eat it, but that Lao Zhu can eat it and do it before. That's no problem, but Lao Zhu started to stop working half a year ago. The real reason why Mr. Gao drove away Lao Zhu was not because he was invited to the house, but because he didn't work. Southwest He wanted to drive away Zhu Ba. His purpose of recruiting a son-in-law was to call him a son-in-law to work as a business owner. To be nice, he called a son-in-law, but not nice. It was a success for free, and his daughter was to avenge him. Zhu Bajie's marriage to Miss Gao is just a deal after all. So the question arises why, half a year ago, this old man suddenly started to stop working. If a person is called to resign, will he still work hard in this unit? The reason why this old man doesn't work is entirely because the team of withdrawing money is called immediately. As the victim of the board marriage, Ms. Gao, does he like Zhu Ba borrowing? Do he have any feelings for him after withdrawing from the BA borrowing? Next, let's talk about Ms. Gao, and we will introduce it in the previous document. Both of Miss Gao's sisters were married to the villager. He had not married for only 20 days last year. In the age when the secretary was written, he was already a young woman with a big zero at the age of 20. What was the reason why he never got married? Is it because Miss Gao has a problem? She looks too noisy. Let's see the first time Song Kong saw Miss Gao. This is how it is described in the book. The clouds are chaotic and unrestrained, and they are proud of their dear ministers. A group of men are still very suffocating, and they have no chi and blood. They want to be in a mere position. The hatred is not bad, and the hatred is low. Miss Gao has been distorted by Lao Zhu, but she still wants to go with her. It can be seen that Miss Gao is definitely not noisy. Do we have to believe Zhu Ba's gaze? Another sentence is also very important. A blue star is still there. What is blue star? Blue star can be placed. Blue star is generally used to describe a woman's high character. That is to say, Miss Gao's good-looking and good-looking fucking, but she has become a young woman with big zero. What is the problem? It must be his daddy and old man Gao. Let's take a look at the conditions for Mrs. Gao to recruit women. She has been a big dealer in the same price, and has promoted Mrs. Fuer to be a dish. Just this condition made Miss Gao take off until she was 20 years old and wait for Zhu Ba to borrow. It can be imagined that Mrs. Gao's husband has a very low demand for women. Generally, old man Gao, who came to propose marriage, looked down on the other party, and later no one came to propose marriage. Lao Zhu probably recruited Miss Gao. In the end, I just wanted to do it myself. Solve the marriage problem of this young woman in Big Zero. Why didn't I say that Miss Gao has too high vision? Since Miss Gao is full of blue heart, it is impossible for her to do nothing. This is human affairs. Moreover, old Lady Gao himself admitted that he had hired Zhu Ba to borrow money. In order to recruit him, I didn't care about it. I ruined my relatives and lost my relatives. Old Lady Gao Yanqiu's daughter is getting older and fewer people are proposing marriage. In the end, no one is proposing marriage. Suddenly, such a big man came to knock on the door, and his appearance is exquisite and all aspects are very suitable for old Lady Gao's requirements, so he responded to this marriage. When did old Lady Gao know that this Zhu Ba is a waste monster? The senior citizen of the article said that he would have to be a son-in-law for the past 3 years. My grandfather didn't want to. Speaking of the fact that his daughter was not a good method, he was responsible for corruption of the family and the relationship between each in-laws, and he always had to retreat to the waist. Zhu Ba also said to herself that although I am a little ugly, it is not difficult to be sure. When I came, I told him that he was willing to show off my fortune. How could he talk about this flower today? On the first day of meeting, Lao Zhu had already told Mrs. Gao that he had kissed him. Mrs. Gao didn't mind at all. Only Miss Gao herself had no say in the mix of this costume. Of course, we know that few fathers think that their own daughter retreated into the fire pit. This old lady Gao was so eager to do something, so she banned Zhu Ba by using the move. Lao Gao's retreat is actually quite a critical level, otherwise, he wouldn't have always wanted to retreat. But Zhu Ba has borrowed all the way to the Gao family's door, and his performance is really good. Lao Zhu himself said, "I've arrived at your house and ate some fried rice at any time, and I won't eat you in the daytime. I also bought it for your family's little land. I'm even more awesome. I'm selling tea and sheep to create a family and profit. I'm not spicy. Now you're wearing a tight gold. I want to use a flower pot for 40 to have vegetables to hit with a hair joint. Isn't that all depends on me?" For 2.5 years, Lao Zhu led the Lao Gao family to reorganize and became a local tyrant, so Lao lady was reluctant to borrow Zhu Ba. Originally, life could have continued like this, but just half a year ago, Zhu Bajie suddenly started to stop working, and old lady Gao immediately became Jian Zhu and wanted to cool down. Lao Zhu may agree, isn't this Xie Mo kills Lu Yu? Lao Zhu doesn't agree, it's useless. Lao Gao started to play hard. He went outside to find some monks, came to the sheep restaurant, and asked them to get rid of the roots, and even hid Miss Gao secretly. Lao Zhu can't bear it anymore, and I won't be able to bear it anymore. Lao Zhu, I'm not Bao Wei, you're so good at it. However, Lao Zhu did not do anything too cruel. He didn't move any more than that. He was so fierce that he just locked up Miss Gao. All the things Lao Zhu did were forced out step by step by step by step. Lao Zhu knew that my Qi Jinping team was coming soon. What about me? This fresh life will not last a few days. I will rest and not work for 2 days. I want to clean the server for 2 days. What's wrong with it? But old man Gao just refused to let us go. There is no free meal in our family. If you don't work a day, you will make up for it. The old man Gao first became his daughter's marriage, and later asked Su Xinqi to ban Zhu Ba's loan. Later, he turned his back on his face and died. He never considered his daughter's feelings when he met Zhu Ba's loan or death. Miss Gao is the biggest victim of this marriage. He has been a tool for his father's interests from beginning to end. He understands this from work. Tang Xing also understood that they all expressed deep sympathy for Zhu Ba. The style of giving away empty items was to destroy the inviting one. But this time, he just wanted Gao Taigong to write a literary art of retreating from the Qing dynasty. But Gao Taigong listened to what he said. He said, if you can hold him, what else would he want? It's all for me, except for the fundamentals. Let's talk about this Miss Gao. He likes Zhu Ba. In the original text, Miss Gao said one sentence, except for crying, and blamed him for not knowing where to go. At these times, the sky was coming to the night, and the clouds were back and forth. Because the young father wanted to withdraw from him, he often kept in the trouble and was busy. In Miss Gao's mouth, he wanted to take care of the beads. He lived with the one in front of him for 3 years. Miss Gao never had the autonomy over his marriage. He was the real victim of his water. We are here to be willing to get to Miss Gao's heart. My father always told me. I must dance a Rui Longjuan for me. I waited 16 to 20 years old, and I heard less and less, from destruction to destruction, from destruction to destruction, from destruction to show. One day, my Rui Longjuan finally knocked on the door. At that time, he was still very silly. He said a lot to my father. My father began to hesitate, but finally agreed. I bid. That day was the most beautiful day in my life. After marriage, my father was very in love and could endure hardships, and of course he could endure hardships. With his efforts, our family became richer and richer. At that time, I thought I was quite happy, so I found that why he had a face, it was a pig head and pig ear, but he was very nice to me. In the past 6 months, he has started to stop working and always said some inexplicable words, always nan nan ziyu, what kind of gold is coming, he has more and more time for pig head and pig ears. My father said, he is not your wolf army, he wants to blame, we must drive him away, he was very angry, so he locked me up, I never knew whether I love by, or love by. This monster, because I never know what love is. I am just listening to my father. What do you say that he is my wolf army, he is my wolf army. If he wants to blame, he becomes a monster. Maybe these are the voices of Miss Gao. Then let's turn it over. What kind of feelings does Sister Zhu Bajie have for Miss Gao? In the following program, we will continue to tell you the story of Qi oil and gas, and the story of the meeting.